I'm River. I'm an astrologer based out of Detroit, and I've been doing astrology for most of my life. I'll just make a really short intro. This is going to be a video for specifically Scorpios, and I want to start with Scorpios with this series specifically because y'all are in your 11th house. So starting in Virgo season, the sun will be moving into your 11th house. And the type of astrology that I use whole sign houses or Hellenistic astrology. And I use a book called the Book of Houses. And this specifically looks at the farming cycle of your year. So the 11th house is going to be the year that you are going to be planting seeds. Why this is so important? Because if you're a farmer and you're trying to use astrology to get the most and the juiciest, best harvest out of your year, then you want to start with good seeds and planting the right seeds. So we're going to start with you, Scorpio. And I have a list of just big transits here that you're going to be going through this month. I'll put the timestamps down below as well. And feel free to toggle with my voice. You can speed me up, slow me down, whatever your jam is. I'm all Cancer, so I'm greeting you from my cozy couch. I have my little IKEA shark here and a plant and pillows, and it's just vibes. These are the vibes. I'm River, I'm very watery, and I like to get cozy, so let's get right into it. On August 22nd, the sun is going to be entering Virgo. So for Scorpios, like I said, this is going to be your 11th house. You're going to want to pay really close attention to your dreams right now. Write down your wishes for the year to come. You can get a reading, consult an astrologer. This is a great time to look at astrology videos, to get readings done. Keep a journal of what you're dreaming of every night. And honestly, write down these wishes on a piece of paper. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I noticed significant improvement. So you're gonna wanna follow this house by house through the entire year. So this is just the perfect season for planting seeds. So pay close attention to your dreams and dream big. Think about what is it that I've always wanted and go after it. On August 23rd, the new moon is going to be entering Virgo. This is one of the last moons, really big moon transits before we have eclipse season, which is coming up. This is also going to be in your 11th house, so that's a great time to plant the seeds. Specifically, I like to do intention setting after the new moon because the energy kind of dies down and it's not so intense beforehand, so you could do it after it exacts. On the 25th, we have Venus moving into Leo, which is going to be transiting your 10th house. So this is a great time to look at your work. Specifically, Venus is beauty, higher education. Leo for you is going to be your 10th house with career. So you could be looking at maybe how do I want to present myself in the workplace, maybe even making your office more beautiful, making your art studio more beautiful, or just generally focusing on creating beauty, because the 10th house is gonna be your career, your vocation, and that can shift you in a more beauty focused direction. On August 31st, we have the first quarter moon in Sag, and I really like to include quarter moons because they are our crisis moons. They are moons where we can feel like we're having a crisis related to the intentions that we set on the new moon or on the full moon. So this is going to be in Sagittarius, which is your second house. This is going to be related to your finances. You might be feeling a little bit of a financial pinch or a financial crisis, or a crisis of resources in general, but this should be short-lived. The moon phases, they go so quickly that as soon as it shifts, you'll be good. September 1st, Saturn is going to be starting its retrograde in Pisces, which for you is going to be in the 5th house. So this is related to your creative endeavors. You could be having to go back and think about, am I paying close attention and diligence? Saturn loves diligence and it loves practicality. It loves, being very disciplined. So are you being disciplined in your creative practices? That's a really good question to ask during Saturn retrograde for you. On September 2nd, Mercury is entering Virgo, which is going to be in your 11th house. So you could even be speaking about the dreams that you want to manifest. This is a really good time while Mercury is in Virgo to talk about your dreams with people that you trust. Obviously, not people who are going to criticize you or naysay you, because dreams are really special and sacred. And what I love about this kind of astrology is that it takes the idea of a seed, which is like any creative idea, it's like a seed, it has to grow in the dark. So let's say you have an idea journal or a creative journal. Those ideas, they germinate in that journal, and then once they've sat for long enough in your mind and in the journal, you can pluck them back out and be like, okay, I'm willing to take this on. But seeds are also very fragile within those first few stages of life. So it's really important to speak those ideas and dreams with yourself or people that you trust. And on September 6th, we have Uranus retrograde beginning in Gemini. This is going to be transiting your 8th house. So this could be related to the resources that you receive from other people and your relationship to the things in life that we all have to deal with, sex, taxes, and death, which is the 8th house. On September 7th, we have the full moon having a total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So this is going to be transiting your 5th house. You could be letting go of anything that is blocking you creatively. This would be a really good time to do that. I don't specifically recommend doing spell work or anything like that during eclipses because they are so volatile. So I feel like the universe will just present you with exactly how you need to, what you need to let go of, but it could be related to creativity. Maybe even releasing an idea into the world that you've had for a long time now. And then we have September 14th, we have the last quarter moon in Gemini, which is also in your 8th house. So again, you could be having kind of a crisis of resources this month and just feeling like more emotional in your financial exchanges. September 18th, we have Mercury entering Libra, which is going to be in your 12th house. So now you're going to start to see sort of the shift. All of the planets are going to start to shift from your 11th house of dreams and seeds into the 12th house. So the next house of progression. The 12th, 1st, and even the 2nd houses can be very vulnerable houses because we are like these little seedlings that got buried in the ground in our 11th house, and in the 12th house we start to germinate and grow in the ground, and in the 1st house we pop up. And that's obviously a very vulnerable place to be. So with Mercury entering the 12th house, I would look at more hidden communication, specifically just secrets, things like that. You might want to keep to yourself more. You might even be noticing that you're just a little bit more quiet during Virgo season, or this is a great time to get therapy, to work on your subconscious words that you tell yourself, because it's Mercury, it's like our words. And then with that being in the 12th house, it could be related to your unconscious and different patterning and behaviors that are not as accessible to you throughout the year. Typically they are going to become more available to you starting on September 18th. So September 19th, we have Venus moving into Virgo, which is going to be in your 11th house. So you have Venus entering that dream seed space. I would say focus on things of beauty, create altars for your new year ahead and all of the dreams that you want to bring into the future. September 21st, we have the new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo, which I believe closes out the eclipse season for us. It's probably going to be an intense September. And so with that new moon in your 11th house, this is also just a really wonderful time to, you might even just see, like you may have had to let go during that first full moon eclipse. You might have had to let go of creative things that were just not meant to really happen. Honestly, that were just not meant to happen because you have new seeds that are wanting that attention, and in order to nourish the new, we have to let go of the old, and you have new manifestations that you want to bring in. A lot of astrologers also look at the 11th house as your network or your community and your friends. So this is a really good time to, you'll be fated exactly where you need to be during eclipse season, but you're probably going to be around community and friends and focusing on that larger network. On the last day of our Virgo season, we have Mars entering Scorpio, which is going to be in your first house. So you might actually experience just a physical uptick in energy. You might be a lot more motivated and more upbeat and just feeling like, okay, you know, I may have been tired these last few months, especially because it's been in your, Mars has been in your 12th house recently. Just having that in the first house can feel really invigorating. It's a great time during Virgo season to work out and get physical. And then, of course, on the September 22nd, we have the Sun entering Libra, which will be in your 12th house, which we'll cover in the next video. So if there's anything that I didn't cover during this video, let me know. I would love to hear it, and I would love to hear your reviews if this was helpful for you during your Virgo season. And there's a few other transits that are in here that are bigger that I might make separate videos for. Yeah, let me know your thoughts and what you think. This is the first of its kind, so I would love to assist in any way I can astrologically. And again, I'm River, and thank you so much for watching.